We've been testing best point-and-shoot cameras 2024, digging deep into the latest flavors of AMD processor and NVIDIA graphics silicon, and we know which notebooks sing and which are just tone deaf. We're not just talking about sleek, expensive new machines. Either, we've picked a range of shoot cameras 2024 at different price points to highlight which give you the best bang for buck and which are just outright awesome. To help you find the right model, we've listed the top best shoot cameras 2024 and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you. And as always, you can check pricing for any of these products in the description below. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. Number 5. Sony ZV1 M2. Many creators use smartphones for vlogging, but camera makers do sell purpose-built alternatives with superior ergonomics and features. Sony's ZV1 was one such release, and now its successor, the $899.99 ZV1 M2, looks to recapture the compact market once more. It keeps the same quality mic and vlog tilted exposure modes as the previous version, but offers improvements such as a wider angle lens, widescreen cinevlog recording support, and enhanced touch operability. Vlog cameras are a developing space, and the ZV1 M2's wide zoom lens helps it stand out among its few competitors. But short battery life and an outdated monitor are notable downsides. On the plus side, the camera feels natural for handheld snapshots and behind-the-lens recordings. But it's a little awkward to use for self-recording, particularly for right-handed vloggers who need to use their left hand to avoid blocking the screen. You might consider the $139.99 PPEVP2BT wireless shooting grip, pictured above, for selfie-style vlogs. It adds to the cost of the camera, but it's worth getting because it doubles as a tabletop tripod. Number 4. Leica Q3. It's expensive, and the fixed 28mm lens limits how far you can go with it, literally and figuratively. The 3-second boot-up time can feel like an eternity when you come across the perfect photographic moment. And yes, as I pointed out upon its release, I find it a little offensive that a thumb rest is a $225 accessory on a $6,000 camera. It's not every day you're looking at your budget and asking yourself if you should spend it on a camera or a used car, or health insurance if you're American. But it's also the most fun I've had with any gear this year. Using the Leica Q3 took me back to the joy I first felt with 35mm film and 120 TLR cameras. It's a camera that is as simple or as complicated as you want it to be, and if you choose to, you can limit time in menus to an initial setup and then stick to the on-body buttons and dials. It's a welcome departure from cameras with custom function menus that bring up half a dozen or more options to pick from on a touch screen. This focus on image making rather than pixel peeping appealed to me and took me back to why I fell in love with photography. It feels ridiculous to praise a $6,000 camera for making things simple and not mapping all the bells and whistles to buttons and custom menus. Perhaps it stems from a nagging thought I've had the last couple of years that most cameras are pretty good these days, and the small differences aren't in the pixel peeping but in the usability, and just flat out, is this fun to use? And thumb rest aside, I found the Q3 very nice to work with and yes, fun. Number 3. Reiko GR IIX. Now I admit I love quirky cameras. There, I said it. Sure, there's a lot to be said for rock-solid, expensive flagship bodies, the real pro workhorses, etc. But the quirky cameras hold a special place in my heart because they help motivate me to go out and make photos I wouldn't otherwise pursue. Depending on which side of the fence you're sitting on, you may either see the Reiko GR IIX as a pocket powerhouse for discerning photographers, or an overpriced toy without weather sealing, short battery life, and less than stellar tracking autofocus. Me, I think it's one of the coolest cameras I've ever seen. Let's take a closer look starting with the basics. Before I get started, I want to mention that the GR series of cameras is nothing new. There is a 20-year history of Reiko GR cameras traveling through time from film to digital. Along the way, the technology may have changed, but the company's commitment to a small, lightweight, ultra-portable snap-shooting camera has not. I respect the legacy of this company and their choices, and that is part of the reason why I bought a Reiko camera. The Reiko GR IIX is a premium compact camera designed for photographers who value image quality, portability, and control. It's the latest iteration in the GR series, known for its enthusiast appeal and pocketability. Number 2. Sony DSC RX100 VII. The RX100 VII is the most capable pocket camera ever made, both in terms of video and stills. But on paper, it doesn't seem to offer much over the RX100 VI. The lens is the same, the pixel count is the same, the body is unchanged, and image/video quality are nearly indiscernible. So why don't we give the RX100 VI a gold award? Because a vastly improved AF implementation and general usability improvements make the VI easier to operate, more reliable, and perhaps most importantly, more enjoyable to use. The RX100 VI is a well-built little camera with a limited number of control points, but lots of possibility for customization. Buttons are small, and the camera's menus can be both dense and confusing to navigate. Fortunately, the need to jump into the main menus or use the tiny buttons is mitigated by the inclusion of a customizable Fen menu and My Menu, as well as an industry-leading AF implementation with touch capability for setting an AF point. Unfortunately, the touchscreen isn't fully utilized. It can only move one's AF area or initiate tracking in video, not navigate menus or playback. Number 1. Fujifilm X100 VI. The X100 VI also sees a move to the 40MP VSI CNOS sensor used in the XH2 and XT5. It's a sensor that delivers high levels of detail capture, and from what we shot so far, we don't have much concern about the lens's ability to make the most of this resolution bump. The VI also features Fujifilm's X Processor V that brings with it the machine learning trained subject recognition algorithms. This means the X100 VI has modes to recognize animals, birds, automobiles, motorcycles and bikes, airplanes or trains. As with other recent Fujifilm cameras, human face and eye detection is a separate mode, so you'll need to configure 2 buttons or positions on the To menu if you plan to swap between photographing people and a different subject type. The X100 VI gains the realer AC film simulation first seen in the GFX 100EU. Alongside this are added the nostalgic neg and Eterna bleach bypass simulations, taking the total number to 14 simulated film stocks or 20 if you include the fault color filter variations of the mono modes.